as a result of which they start doing the things that pleases the narcissistic parent. Hey everyone, I hope everyone is doing good and taking good care of themselves. So today I'm going to talk about the different ways narcissistic parents use silent treatment on their adult children. And before I get going, I would request you all to like, share, subscribe the channel, hit the notification bell so you guys are updated whenever we put out a new content. So we know who these narcissistic parents are. They are narcissistic individuals who choose to in a way utilize their procreation ability, yeah, and it's basically for supply. They don't choose to start family for altruistic or healthy reasons. They choose to start family because they want return, yeah. I mean, it can be anything: emotional support, financial gain, social conformity. They get into this breeding business because they want return, short-term investment with lifetime return, yeah. They will do the bare minimum for their kids, and they will keep guilt tripping the child till the time they are alive, and they will keep harvesting the supply out of the child. Narcissistic parents lack empathy, so they really don't care what the kids are going through or how the kids are feeling on the inside. It's all about them. I mean, the narcissistic parent, yeah, they have inability to self-reflect. So they are not going to sit and evaluate their actions. They are not going to sit and think over things. No, they are just going to give you the instructions, and that's it. And if you don't follow the instructions, if you don't give them what they want out of you, there will be consequences. Yeah, it's very transactional, instrumental, and conditional. They are going to withhold love and affection. They are going to triangulate. They are going to minimize you. They are going to invalidate whatever you say, your feelings, your emotion. They are basically going to stunt your growth at an early age. I mean, psychological, emotional development. And this helps them have you on hook for a longer period of time. They don't nurture you, and they don't provide you with a calm, stable, healthy environment to grow and bloom and evolve. No, instead they keep trapping you with whatever they have, whether it is emotional blackmail, whether it is manipulation, gaslighting, belittling you, guilt tripping you, shaming you. And all of this stunts your growth. If you're exposed to all of these manipulation, guilt trips, shaming, gaslighting from an early age, you don't develop into a healthy individual. You develop into a broken, dysfunctional individual. And that's the goal of these narcissistic parents. They don't want you to be healthy individuals. They want you to be broken, dysfunctional individuals. And that's how you will be on hook for long and do their bidding. Now, coming to the different ways narcissistic parents use silent treatment on their adult children. The first way is withholding communication to manipulate behavior. So they are going to withhold communication. They are not going to talk to you properly, or they are not going to take your phone calls. They are not going to reply to your messages. Yeah, they are going to simply, throw silent treatment. They are going to withhold any form of communication. Yeah, they are going to ignore you. They are not going to listen to you. They are not going to reply to you, attend your calls, or if you ask them something, they are not going to reply the way how a healthy individual does. They are just going to be silent. They'll get busy with something. They'll just avoid you. Yeah, and this is basically to make you desperate. And these narcissistic parents have, as it is, stunted your growth. They never allowed you to develop a self-worth, self-esteem, or healthy sense of self. And as a result of which, you are desperate for their approval. And when they withhold communication, you become crazy for their approval. You are ready to do anything and everything, yeah, to get a feedback from them. Yeah, you fear being abandoned, and that has been instilled since childhood. When they used to withhold love and affection, we used to feel scared. What if I lose my father? What if I lose my mother? So when you grow up to be adult, they use the same trick. They are going to withhold communication, and what this does is that it makes the adult child feel as if he or she is being abandoned, and he or she becomes extremely desperate and is ready to do anything for approval, for feedback, for validation. Yeah. The other way narcissistic parents use silent treatment on their adult children is by giving silent treatment after a disagreement to punish. So if you don't agree to them, if you don't listen to them, if you don't do things their way, they are going to throw silent treatment. Yeah. And what this does is that it creates confusion inside the adult children, and it instills guilt in the adult children. Yeah. That I have done something wrong. I have done wrong by not agreeing to my narcissistic parent. I have done wrong by not doing what they wanted me to do. Yeah. And it all goes back to the childhood. Since childhood, they train you with silent treatment. They train you with manipulation, emotional manipulation. They gaslight you, they confuse you since childhood, and as a result of which you grow up to be an adult who is still confused, who is unaware of the fact that they are dealing with narcissistic parent. Yeah. Instead, they think that their parents are a little difficult, a little challenging, and I need to accommodate, I need to compromise, I need to sacrifice some of the things, and I need to do anything and everything in my reach and capacity to make my parent happy. Yeah, that's what the adult children feel. Yeah, when they are raised by narcissistic parents, they feel that the problem is with them and not the narcissistic parent. Yeah. And they need to do more, they need to prove that they are loyal to their narcissistic parent. They need to sacrifice their own self and do what the narcissistic parent wants them to do. So giving silent treatment after a disagreement is a kind of a punishment. Yeah. Which these narcissistic parents give to their adult children, and this is again to create confusion so that the kids are confused. Did I seriously do wrong? I mean, was my decision bad? Maybe I shouldn't have had done things my way. I should have asked my narcissistic parent. I should have taken her opinion. I should have taken his opinion. Yeah, you get into that confused state, and when you are confused, it's very easy to control you and manipulate you. And that's what they want. They want to confuse you with their action and response. Yeah. So that you are confused, you are desperate, and you are scared of losing them, and as a result of which you comply, you surrender, and you simply do whatever they want out of you. The other way narcissistic parents use silent treatment on their adult children is by refusing to acknowledge achievements to undermine confidence. So narcissistic parents don't want you to develop confidence. They don't want you to feel good about yourself, about your achievement. Yeah, about the things that you have achieved by working hard towards it. They don't want you to feel good about any of your achievement or success. They are never going to acknowledge your challenges, hardship, the hard work that you have put in, the struggles that you had to go through, the challenges that you faced. They are not going to validate that. They are not going to acknowledge that. And this is basically to create and instill a sense of inadequacy and self-doubt in you. Yeah, and that's how they are able to control you. So if you do something and you succeed and you are thinking that they are going to validate, no, they are not going to validate. Instead, they are going to tell you, well, when I was of your age, I was able to do more. This is nothing. Yeah, you wouldn't have been where you are without my support and encouragement. They are going to give backhanded compliments. They are going to credit hog. They are never going to acknowledge your achievements. Yeah. Instead, they are going to give you backhanded compliments. They are going to not validate it at all. Yeah. They are going to gaslight you in return. You wouldn't have been where you are if I wouldn't have had given birth to you. That's how irrelevant it gets. Yeah. Narcissistic parents can be extremely irrelevant. Yeah, when it comes to gaslighting and silent treatment, they really don't care if at all they are making sense. All what they are concerned about is to confuse you, to guilt trip you, to shame you, to manipulate you into complying to whatever they want out of you. That's their end goal. Yeah. I have seen in some of the cases narcissistic parents really don't make sense to whatever they say or speak. The entire goal is to hurt the child. The entire goal is to confuse the child. The entire goal is to, instill this fear of abandonment in the child. Yeah, and that's how they control. That being relevant or irrelevant doesn't really matter. I've seen a lot of narcissistic parents speaking irrelevant things out of context, doesn't make sense at all. And that's how they had been controlling and manipulating their child since childhood. And they do the same thing even when the child grows up. And I have seen some of the children's who have grown up, often they reach out to me and they tell me, my parent does a lot of irrelevant things, my parent says a lot of things out of context. And what do you think they are trying to do? I mean, they are simply trying to confuse you. They don't want you to see them for who they are, and that's the reason they keep shape shifting. Sometimes they will behave okay, sometimes they will behave miserable, sometimes they will behave horrible with you, they will mistreat you. And this is basically to dodge you and confuse you, so that you are unable to create you know a solid perception about them. They don't want you to see them and identify them for who they are, and that's the reason they keep shape shifting, they keep confusing you. Yeah, plus they're enablers. People who support them, they come and gaslight you. No, she is not a bad woman, no, he is not a bad guy, it's just that he's stressed. Your mother is behaving like that because of her difficult backstory. And all of this basically confuses you and you are stuck with them. Yeah, and you simply keep betraying your own self, and you keep doing what pleases them. The other way narcissistic parents use silent treatment on their adult children is by using silence to avoid addressing emotional needs. So if you are going through some kind of emotional ups and downs, they are not going to tend to your emotional needs. Yeah, instead they are going to ignore you, gaslight you, and tell you stop overacting. Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely okay. Just behave normal. Why are you overreacting to these things? Yeah. I mean, so what if she did this? So what if he mistreated you? So what? Yeah. That's how, life is. So they are going to gaslight you, and they are never going to be there to, comfort you. So they are never going to be there to support you and help you navigate your emotional needs and requirement. Instead, they are going to gaslight you, and they are going to you know uh, avoid addressing to your emotional needs. Yeah, they're going to ignore, or they will just be silent and they will be disinterested. And what this does is that this makes the adult child feel neglected. Yeah, and when we are neglected, we feel miserable. And this also makes us feel unimportant. Our feelings are unimportant. Yeah, what we are feeling, what we are going through is of no importance. It's not valuable. Yeah, it's of no concern and importance. It's not worthy. Yeah, so let me suffer in silence and let me do what's expected out of me. Yeah, so they are going to ignore your emotional ups and downs, they are going to emotionally neglect you. And this is basically to you know uh, tell you that don't you know look into your emotional needs. Yeah, suffer in silence, and do what is expected out of you. Start serving me rather than expecting me to help you and support you. Yeah, don't expect me to help you and support you to navigate your emotional ups and downs. Instead, suffer in silence, mute all those chatter, and get onto the track. Start serving me, tend to my needs, wants, and requirement. Yeah, and silence your needs, wants, and requirements. Yeah, that's how things are. It's pretty one way. Yeah, they train you to betray your own self and keep prioritizing the narcissistic parent. And the last way narcissistic parents use silent treatment on their adult children is by isolating the child during family gatherings to humiliate. So they are going to isolate you. They are going to tell you, well, you don't need to attend this. You're not invited. You have already messed things up. So it's better you stay in your room. It's better stay wherever you are. You are not invited on, this occasion and that gathering. And what this does is that, this instills a feeling of shame. Yeah, kids feel bad. Yeah, they feel ashamed of themselves if you have some kind of disagreement, or if you have done things your way. Narcissistic parents are going to isolate you. They are not going to invite you or welcome you wholeheartedly. Yeah, instead they are going to tell you, well, you are not invited to be in this family gathering, or in this occasion, or dinner. And this is basically to make you feel ashamed of what you have done, your choices, your thought process. This is basically to ostracize you, to make you feel lonely, to make you feel as if you have been abandoned. Yeah, and all of it is guised, under this uh, family name and honor of your parent. You have disrespected your parent. You have not done things their way, and you have brought bad name to your family. Yeah, and you as it is feel guilty when you are not included. And this is a form of silent treatment. Yeah, and this also creates a kind of a social anxiety in the adult children. When they are not included, when they are not invited, they feel bad, they feel left out, they feel abandoned. Yeah, and as a result of which they start doing the things that pleases the narcissistic parent. Only those who are unaware of what they are dealing with, only those individuals who are not healed, or who have got zero understanding about narcissism, narcissistic personality disorder, narcissistic parenting, they are the ones who are trapped in that never ending perpetual cycle of abuse. But those who have some amount of awareness, they will not feel bad with the silent treatment. They will know that, yes, he is doing all of this because he wants me to comply. She is doing all of this so that I fall on my knees and pray and beg for forgiveness. I simply comply, and I betray my own self, and I keep serving them. So those folks who have some amount of awareness, they don't feel miserable and bad. But those who are unaware, for them it's like apocalypse. For them it's like as if the world is coming to an end. Yeah, uh, for them it's like a very major thing if they are being treated with silent treatment. They really feel horrible, they really feel abandoned, and they are ready to rectify their action. They are ready to go out of their way and do anything in their reach and capacity to buy their narcissistic parents' love, to get I mean, of course, the only thing that they get from their narcissistic parent is tiny bit of breadcrumbs, and these adult children, they keep misunderstanding those crumbs for love. And I was also there. So those kids who are aware you know as to what they are dealing with, they won't feel bad. But those who are unaware, for them it's quite tormenting. It's quite disheartening. Yeah, and they are ready to do anything, go out of their way, and get their parents love and affection. We know that's not love and affection, it's just breadcrumbs to keep the adult children on hook. But that's how things are. In case if you would like to add in something, you can always comment below. Till then, take care of yourself. Lots of love and blessings to all of you. Bye.